been a couple days since I went live, and I guess it was time. I had a couple people ask me to do a post-game show, so here we are. That was a clinic put on by Mr. Leon Draisaitl. Going into the third, tied at 3, I had a good feeling about the game, but by no means did I think we were going to absolutely fucking curb stomp the Predators there in the third period. That was quite the exhibition of offense. I don't know what it is with coaching now. They don't seem to pull a goalie until it is absolutely decided 100% that you're going to lose the game. Like at 5-3 might have been the time to try your other goalie. He waited till it was 7-3, and 10 minutes to go in the third. You don't have a chance to catch up there. Yeah, I think that game actually helped Mike Smith a little bit too, because it was a tight game, and it's hard on a goalie's nerves when it's tight heading into the third period and you want to get a win. The offense, just put the boots, put the pedal down and took care of it. And I think that, more than anything helps your goalie mentally, because it's not taxing on them. They don't have to think as much, and they can just let it go. So I guess one other thing I want to talk about is on Saturday we had our charity game for Heart and Stroke, and originally our goal was to at first we set a goal of $2,500, but then we quickly kind of decided that we should change that, and we upped it to 10 grand. And when our committee thought about raising the goal to 10 grand, I thought it was a lofty goal, but we everybody went through the numbers, and we found out today that we raised over $10,000 for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. So that really made my weekend. There was players that played and kind of committee members that kind of got donations up until Saturday, and I think they were somewhere around $5,400 there. And two guys really, battled for, I think they had either Sweet tickets or Oilers tickets kind of on the line to whoever raised the most amount of money that way. And those guys were up over $1,000 each, which is just fabulous. And so that's kind of, sorry, just one second. So anyways, those guys raised up over $1,000 each, which was fabulous and amazing. And we played our game. My team, in that, like, it was a series of 2 games, 32-minute games. We lost the first one pretty handily, and then the second one, I finally got a goal, kind of banged home a rebound, and I promised people I would do a George Larac skate as hard as you can and jump into the glass celebration, so I lived up to that. And that game ended in a tie. I think it was 5-5, so to see who was going to win it, the whole thing, we had a shootout, and I had to select 3 guys, and I was hoping my last guy was going to score. And he did not, and one of their guys on their team scored, so they won the shootout. I had my, because I think I would have had to shoot if our guy would have scored, and I had my whole plan, game plan figured out. I was going to do the Owen Nolan point to the top right-hand corner and put it there, but never got a chance. But so after that game, we had a silent auction and an after party at the Canadian Brewhouse downtown by Rogers Place, and we had our silent auction, and I guess the silent auction brought in enough money to get us over our $10,000 goal, so that's really cool. Made me pretty happy. It was awesome day that night. Oilers played the Jets, and Leon was on a roll that night too. So Mr. Draisaitl is, I think, starting to pull away from the field in the Hart Trophy conversation. I sort of have a feeling that 120 points for him is definitely not out of the question, which is amazing. I mean, he's already had an amazing season, but it's not over yet. So, and well, we lost our first game, tied the second. So if we would have won the shootout, I guess we would have won. Because it was kind of you got to take 2 out of 3, right? So, yeah. I usually do these with beer. I don't have any right now, so I need to apologize for that. But I have a chocolate bar. It was going to a shootout regardless. It was kind of 3 mini games. So that's kind of the way she went. The only bad part was for whatever reason, one of the goalies, I don't know if it was a no-show or what happened, but they had to scramble to get a goalie to come for the other Michaels team, and he came kind of late. So to start the first game, our team had to hit the post, and we had a goalie on time. So that's always a little bit weird and kind of different. But I think it was 0-0 until their goalie showed up anyway. So yeah, and they had ended up getting a really good goalie. He stood on his head. Yeah, I don't know too many teams that want to play the Oilers in the playoffs. I think we've got a good mix of skill and size, and yeah, guys like Cassian and Archibald and Yamamoto are kind of so relentless on the forecheck that they can create a lot of havoc. I'm interested to see those guys play in the playoffs. And I think guys like Nurse and Larson, even Matt Benning at times, can definitely lay their licks on forwards from the back end. They're physical guys, so still got some work to do before it's guaranteed that we're there, but I think it's gonna happen. I don't see these guys. They haven't really had it this season where they have like an epic collapse. So I'm sure along the way here there's gonna be a two or three or maybe even 4 game losing streak. It sort of happens, but they're rolling along, and a win like tonight kind of gives you a bit of momentum. Um, I They go right back at it tomorrow if they can, sort of duplicates tonight's effort. I can't see how they won't get another win. So, and I think what they've survived. Some key pieces in their lineup getting injured, and they're starting to get healthy. I mean, I don't think it's too far away. Clefbaum rejoins the fold. James Neal won't be too far away, and then it starts to get tough on Dave Tippett. Like, who do you keep in? Who do you take out? Yeah, and that's a good problem to have. It shows you're a deep team. No, there's no way you can take Caleb Jones out of the lineup. He's right up there as one of the top guys on their blue line right now. Just such a solid passer, and skates really well. I like him and Larson as a pairing. Honestly, I don't think I would split them up. I mean, Klepbaum's gonna come back in, but I think what I would like to see in the future is honestly Clefbaum and Mike Green as a pairing. But that's gonna be 2 to 3 weeks away before Mike Green's back. So. Caleb Jones and Ethan Bear showed really well. And that was a bullshit penalty tonight on Ethan Bear. Mike Green can pass the puck too. We've only seen a little bit of him, but he can make plays. And they did have him and Clefbaum, or maybe I'm mistaken, but they both are good distributors, so I'd like to see them paired together. Is Dry winning the Rocket? I don't think so. I don't think he catches Ovechkin and Pasternak, but I think he's if he doesn't win the Hart Trophy, there's a fix. There's an Eastern media fix if he doesn't win the Hart Trophy, because he's definitely earned it. Yeah, well, if you think he's going to score 4 goals a game, well, I got some news for you. He's not. But he's on a heater right now. He likes that puck on the right side, kind of down below the circles, and kind of a one-timer, almost like Brett Hall, down on one knee and letting it go. What did he get to tonight? 105 or 106? 106, because he had 105 last year, and they said he beat last year's total. Oh, Matthews isn't even close to Draisaitl. Matthews has a great shot. Leon has a great shot and is just a hell of a playmaker. The passing from Draisaitl is Gretzky-esque, and his backhand is like Crosby, and the puck possession game. He's like Shaquille O'Neal in the post. I mean, he skates down the ice and he uses his one hand to stick handle the puck, the other hand to shield people off, and you just can't get it from him. I mean, Matthews doesn't have that. I mean, honestly, he is a real close facsimile of Evgeny Malkin in Pittsburgh. They call McDavid and Draisaitl the Crosby Malkin, and it's not really far off. I think Leon is more controlled than Malkin. Malkin seems to lose his cool more than Leon does, but other than that, I mean, they're similar. Well, answer to the Draisaitl, the best Oiler this year, you have to remember that Connor missed some time, right? But Leon did a fine job of putting the team on his shoulders and carrying them along while Connor was out. Fucking phenomenal. Man, that was funny. Yeah, it's a cool problem to have. You take the best player in the world out of your lineup, and you've got another guy that can step up and carry you along. I mean, it doesn't. We're a better team than we were last year. Let's face it. The additions that Ken Holland made have made this group a lot better than they were last year. As much as people wanted to rag on him for only acquiring, bottom six guys, let's face it, Archibald, Sheahan, Haas, Nygaard, those guys have made a tremendous difference in the penalty killing. And, getting James Neal for Lucic, it catapulted our power play into the best in the league. So, and a lot of what Ken Holland did was he placed a lot of bets on guys in the bottom six, coming in, being able to help. But he also reinforced those bets. Like, there was Granlund, and I think he brought in about 9 guys to do, 5 jobs. So every guy had another guy that could potentially fill that role in case the other guy didn't pan out. And, there was that Thomas Yurko and all of that. So, I mean, he backed up his own bets that he placed on guys being able to do the job. So it's, paid off in spades. He already had, some good pieces to work with. You had McDavid, you had Draisaitl, you had Nuge, and Yamo got some time down on the farm to get seasoned, and he comes up, and I mean, he's been a point of game guy. And what's really, funny and cool and sort of hard to fathom is that the Oilers missed Yamamoto, I think, more than they missed McDavid when he was out. That's sort of mind-blowing. I'm not saying that Yamamoto's better than McDavid or more important to the team, but I think it just, there's such a, they can set their lines where Leon is sort of his own vessel with, Yamamoto and Nuge and then McDavid is his own vessel with whoever else. And you've got that 1-2 punch, and I really think that Yamamoto sets a lot of the table for Draisaitl and Nuge by his relentless puck pursuit and retrieval and forechecking. He sets the tone for those guys and allows them to sort of play that skill and cerebral mind game that those guys do. And no surprise, he comes back in the lineup and they're winning hockey games again. So, yeah, and a couple of pickups at the deadline here. This I can't even really say his name, but Double A. He's got speed. Seems to have a little bit of creativity with the puck and a pretty good heavy shot. And Ennis just looks like another smart hockey player. So they just got deeper and Mike Green has always been an offensive threat and I think he's just a product of being in Detroit, and that's why his numbers have kind of rescinded and the plus minus that everybody points to. But you're in Detroit. The games he played here, I never had a problem with him. Any of the games that I saw him play, so hopefully he heals up quick and gets back, because I think we can use him. I don't really want to see Lagesson really play anymore. I wasn't. The only thing that impressed me with him is one body check he laid out, but other than that, I haven't seen too much from him that really impresses me. I think I think Chris Russell's better than William Lagesson. But I think when Clefbaum gets back, Russell's the guy you take out of the lineup. And then when Green gets back, you replace Benning with Mike Green again. But I think lately Matt Benning's he's been fine. The only problem I have with Benning is his foot speed. Kind of laughed too at the notion that people were upset with Nurse in the Winnipeg game on the second goal. Well, if you break down that whole play, that had nothing to do with Darnell Nurse. Matt Benning, I don't know if he caught an edge, or sorry, not Matt Benning, Ethan Bear. I'm not sure if he caught an edge or just got caught watching the puck instead of the guy's chest or what, but he got kind of turned inside out. So Nurse pulled away from, the guy. His assignment there to cover up for Bear and sort of left the backdoor tap, and that's sort of what happened. But, Nurse tried to bail out Bear. It wasn't Nurse, who made the mistake there. It was Ethan Bear. It looked bad. It looked like Ethan Bear, was a rookie again. But after that sequence there, that little miscue, those two settled down and they played a hell of a hockey game. I don't regret my Yakupov jersey purchase because that's my sister's. I never bought it. She loved Nail Yakupov. She now has an Ethan Bear jersey. Yeah, she's got the The home orange Ethan Bear jersey. Kind of it's kind of cool to see Ryan Smith there at the intermission. Who do you protect on D if the expansion draft was this summer? What is it? 4 you can protect on D, or 3? 3, yeah. Well, I don't believe you have to protect Bear or Jones because they're still in their ELC if the draft was this summer. So I'm thinking I would probably protect Clefbaum, Nurse, and Larson. Although if Chris Russell has a no trade or no movement clause, then I think you have to protect him. So that makes it interesting. If that's the case, I guess it's Russell, Nurse, and Clefbaum. I believe if guys are still on their entry-level contract that you don't have to protect them. But that's all going to change because the expansion draft isn't this summer. It's next summer, right? So I hate the whole fucking expansion draft bullshit. Anyway, it's fucking stupid. I think you might want to look that up. I think I'm right. But I'm not sure. But I don't want to think about that right now. I think you know what? I think GM's probably learned a lot from the whole Vegas thing. Like, I don't think Florida will make the same mistakes they made last time there was an expansion draft, and sort of wonder if Pittsburgh could do it all over again if they would have protected Fleury and let Matt Murray go. And that's something that I've heard a lot of buzz on too, is that Pittsburgh might be willing to part ways with Matt Murray here at the end of the season. So if you're Edmonton Oilers, would you want Matt Murray? It's like right now, it's, you know, goalies are voodoo, as they say, but it's sort of like Mike Smith sort of turned back the clock. Like, you know, some people put out the notion that guys will play harder for a certain goalie or whatever. I don't really buy into that. You know, as a hockey player, I think you want to win every game, and you kind of take a similar approach to every game. I don't buy into, you know, we play harder for this guy or that guy. I don't really believe that, but what I do think is that, you know, sometimes as a team and as a goalie, you get breaks and you get good luck and bad luck, and I think it's, you know, all the stars have sort of aligned here for Mike Smith, and he's on a run, and he's on a roll, and his confidence is up, and it's just working for him right now. And I think, you sort of ride that as long as you can, and hope it lasts forever and keep going. But I like the way that Tippett's handled the goalies all season. Gives them an opportunity to get it together. Smith had a tough stretch, but he'd still kind of keep him in the loop. And Koskinen's had some games where it hasn't really went his way, but gives him a little time to breathe and gets right back in there. And I think the two goalies are pushing for each other and hoping each guy gets a win every time they're in the net. And it's just a good thing. So one of the things that happened on Saturday too at our silent auction was the Edmonton Oilers donated a Oilers stick. It's got their logo and kind of stuff on it and their name and all this, and the whole team signed it. My girlfriend actually spent $500 and some odd and bought it for me. So I am a spoiled brat, so I probably won't have it until April, but when we're in the playoffs, that'll be a part of the repertoire behind me, so something else to look at. Yeah, definitely wife material. Oh. Yeah, very, very spoiled. There's kind of the grand picture signed by Fierzy behind me, and then she got me this puck too, for Christmas.
Who you got? No one, or?
Yeah.
It's just you?
No.
What do you mean?
This is my goofy kid.
Who's that?
He played defense in the Oilers Live Cup for me, but
Who's?
Didn't manage to score any goals.
Oh, it's defense.
Yeah.
I jumped in the play 3 times, so. But,
yeah.
Want to drive me tomorrow? School? I'll actually try and be up by 7:30.
I'll be gone before then.
What time are you leaving?
Probably right before 7.
6:30, 7?
Yeah, just before 7.
That might be a little too early. I'll try.
You never know what can happen on these little post-game shows. And holy cow, he needs to have a shower because he just stunk up my room. He does prep cook work at our Montana's here, and he smells like onions right now. Cell block 99, yep. Oh. Yeah, 5-goal outburst in the third period was not what that was not what I was expecting tonight, but I'll definitely take it. Pretty cool. Anyways, gang, I think that's about all I got in me. So I will leave you as I always do and tell you to keep your sticks on the ice and keep reaching for the stars. Go Oilers, goal. Go. Good night. Peace. Au revoir. And hasta mañana. Hasta luego. Hasta la vista, baby. See ya.